Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to teach you some expressions and words that native speakers use all the time. And also I want to go through some of the most common mistakes you might be making in English. So to me, fluency was always a pretty interesting topic because of how people actually interact with each other. We're always taught to say certain expressions and phrases a certain way, but in reality, maybe a native speaker would use a completely different expression. So at first, I want to touch upon some of the most common mistakes that you might be making in English. And let's start with a very common mistake. Let's imagine the situation. Your friend is asking you a question. Do you think it's gonna rain today? And you're saying, I think no. Let's think about this answer for a second. This is wrong, guys. You cannot answer this question by saying, I think no. The correct way would be to say, I don't think so. And here, guys, I just want to help you real quick. Don't be discouraged, because the reason why so many people are making this mistake is that because of their native language, they try to translate this expression, right? And for example, in my native language, I would also say it this way. I would say, I think no, but it's wrong. You should say, I don't think so. And actually, in English, it's more common to say, I don't something. For example, if you want to say, I think he won't come to the party tonight, it's better to say, I don't think he will come to the party tonight. I know English is kind of weird, but this is just a more natural, a more native way of saying this expression.
It's weird.
Well, I don't think so.
Now let's move on to another grammar mistake that I hear a lot of people make. So imagine a person is asking you a question. Do you have a pen? And you say, I have. This is wrong again, guys. You should say I do, because this person is asking you this question. Do you have a pen? Do you have a pen? And when we're responding, we have to use this do. We have to say, yes, I do, not yes, I have. And in that situation where you might be making this mistake is when a person is asking you this. Do you like it? You can say, yes, I like. And this is wrong again, because you should say, yes, I do. Or if you want to say, no, I don't. Please, guys, don't say, yes, I like or yes, I have, because unfortunately, this is not correct.
Yes, I do.
Now let's move on to this another very interesting mistake that a lot of people are making. So let's look at the sentence. I don't know why is he so sad. Unfortunately, this part, why is he so sad, is wrong, because you should have said, why he is so sad. The reason why so many people are making this mistake is that we think it's a question, right? Because we have this question word here. We have why. I don't know why he's so sad. It is very natural for us to make a question because we think it is a question. But it's not a question, guys. It's a statement. We're just saying, I don't know why he's so sad. And that's why we should just make it as a statement. Obviously, if, for example, you were making a question, you were saying, why is he so sad? Of course, you have to say, why is he so sad? Because it is a question now.
I don't know why I did that.
And now let's talk about some of the expressions that you think might sound native, while in reality, native speakers would use completely different expressions. And okay, guys, it all depends on context. Context is very important, and in this video, I'll be giving you a lot of different examples, so I hope you understand everything as well as possible. So let's imagine the situation. You're talking to your friend and they are inviting you to a party, and you might say, I don't think I can attend. Well, the word attend is a good word. Obviously, you should know it. People use it a lot. But in this particular situation, it's a lot better to say, I don't think I can make it. So this expression, to not be able to make it, just means you can't attend something. But because you're talking to your friend, it's a very informal context, it's a lot better to say, I'm sorry, I don't think I can make it.
I can't make it, guys.
Did you know, guys, that instead of saying why, you can actually say how come? I know it's pretty wild, and I think a lot of people are actually not using this opportunity. We're so used to saying why all the time, but actually you can use how come instead. But here, a very important thing. If you want to use how come, you should not create like a standard question. Because for example, with the word why, you have to say, why didn't you do your homework, right? Why didn't you do your homework? So we're creating a question question. But with how come, you would say, how come you didn't do your homework? So it's actually kind of easier to use how come because we don't need to create a question. It is just a statement, but obviously we're asking a question. I hope you get what I mean. So basically, if you want to use how come, you should just use the standard sentence format. Subject, verb, and object. Pretty easy.
How come I haven't heard from him?
Now let's talk about the expression I don't know or I have no idea. Sometimes if you want to sound more native, more, fluent and advanced, you can say your guess is as good as mine. This is a very, very natural native expression in English. So for example, your friend might ask, when is she coming home? And you can say, I don't know. You can say, I have no idea. Or you can say, your guess is as good as mine. Again, all of these expressions just mean I don't know. But I feel like sometimes it's better to spice up your English, to use some cool expressions instead of saying I don't know all the time.
Nope. Your guess is as good as mine, Jimbo.
And now guys, let's move on to my favorite expression. So imagine this situation. You're talking to your friend and you can kind of feel that they're not really telling you everything. Maybe they're sad, maybe they're anxious about something. So you want to say, please, tell me your thoughts. What are you thinking about? But instead you can say a penny for your thoughts. This is a really cool expression and I personally really like it because this is not a direct way, you're not pushing a person to tell you everything they're thinking about, right? But I guess it's more for people who like using idioms and cool expressions because I'm definitely one of those people.
Hey you, penny for your thoughts.
Very soon. So very soon is something we often use all the time. Again, a great phrase, but sometimes you can use before you know it. Again, I think before you know it is something people use very often in conversations and casual speech. So for example, you might say, a week seems like a very long time, but Saturday will be here very soon. Or you might say, but Saturday will be here before you know it. Again, a great expression to use if you want to expand your vocabulary in English.
Before you know it, your heart's worn out.
So now let me teach you an expression that Americans use a lot, especially at work. So I think it's not a secret for you guys that Americans really like baseball. And there are so many idioms and expressions in English that come from baseball, and especially in American English. So imagine you're talking to your colleagues and you're discussing a project and you're talking about the price. So you're asking, just tell me approximately, just tell me how much it's gonna cost. But instead you can say, just give me a ballpark. So ballpark or a ballpark figure is like an approximate price for something, right? So you can say the ballpark figure is like $4,000, for example. Again, a very cool expression. This is something people use a lot, and not just when it comes to work, in regular life as well. You can also use this expression. Instead of saying, just tell me approximately, you can say, just give me a ballpark, because this is something that native speakers will say a lot.
Give me a ballpark figure.
10.
And now let's move on to our last expression. Imagine you're at a store and you're buying something. For example, you like this dress or these pants. You feel like they are very expensive. Like you really like them, but you feel like the quality is kind of like but the price is so freaking expensive. So instead of saying so freaking expensive, you can say it's a rip-off. Or you can say they just ripped me off. But if you want to say they ripped me off, it means that you already bought these pants or this dress, right? For example, you might come home with this dress or these pants and your friend might tell you, that's a ripoff, Too expensive for this dress or these pants. That's a ripoff.
Ripoff if you ask me.
So guys, I hope this video was useful. To me personally, I love making these types of videos because this is exactly something that a lot of people miss. Even when we reach this high level in English, we often lack this fluency because nobody teaches us the expressions that native speakers actually use all the time. And unfortunately, the only way you can actually learn what expressions to use, how people actually speak, is by watching TV shows or by talking to native speakers. And that's it. And so yeah guys, I think I'm gonna wrap this video up on this note. Again guys, a quick reminder, I teach English and Russian on italki, so you can book lessons with me there. On my channel I have a playlist dedicated to improving your vocabulary in English. So if you're interested, you can click right here and keep on watching. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!